Well, we did it. 10 more NES games. Oh, jeez. Start that again.
Hey!
Well, we did it. 10 more NES games are now in the books, and it is our job, our duty, to see where they rank on our list. So let's do it. Let's get 10 more NES games ranked. Hello again, I'm Retro Nate, and I forgot what I was going to say. Hello again, I'm Retro Nate, and we are back for another episode in which we try to rank every NES game in history. Now, we aired episode 1 of this series on the channel a while back, and if you're interested to catch up on where we are today, I've posted a link to that video in the description below. But since then, I've finished 10 more NES titles, and they are now eligible to be slotted on our master list, which continues to evolve over time. Chuck! Hello! La la la. Additionally, there are links in the description below for the full walkthroughs of every game that we discussed today, if you want to go back and check those out as well. And lastly, if you like this video, be sure to hit the like button, comment if any rankings atrocities occur that I don't know about, and of course, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. No, seriously, you, right there, you're watching and you're not subscribed. What do we think about that, Nick?
Not cool!
Okay, real quick, let's refresh everyone on what our list looked like after the first 10 games were completed. So these are the games that today's titles are going up against. Can they knock a few of them down a peg? Only one way to find out.
Hello? Anybody home?
Kicking us off is 10 pounds of crap in a 5-pound bag. Back to the Future. This thing was an unmitigated disaster from start to finish. It didn't even have a soundtrack, just one weaponized song played relentlessly until you snap. The gameplay was dull and repetitive with little variety, and all of this when they had so much to work with from the movie. Marty looks ridiculous, the enemies are inexplicable. I mean, bees?
Not the bees!
Seriously? This is the best you come up with? There is just nothing to like about this game, and top it off that it doesn't even give you the satisfaction of an ending or credits. Just a single screen with a stupid message saying that you won, all while playing that mind-numbing tune. I am slapping this game at the very bottom of our updated rankings at number 20, and I cannot conceive how another game could possibly be worse. Now let's make like a tree and move on to the next one. Forgiveness may indeed be divine, but I am not paying full price for this late pizza of a game. The best way I can describe Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is that it's fetch, that little catchphrase that Gretchen from Mean Girls kept trying to make happen.
Gretchen, stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen.
We all just kept playing this thing, trying desperately to like it, but the truth is it kinda stinks. Single player, weird enemies that have no tie to the cartoon, crazy difficult to a fault, and incredibly punitive spots for really no good reason. Seriously, this is so much electric seaweed. Now on the plus side, the soundtrack is okay and I did think the graphics were decent. The boss battles were pretty well done, but boy, what a letdown with the ending. After a game that tough, you have to send me off with some sense of accomplishment, and this just felt like a huge slap in the face. All that said, I do think this game is better than Battletoads by a slim margin, so I'm gonna slot it in at number 18 on our list, with Battletoads taking over as the new number 19. 2 games down. What's next?
Cricket. Cricket?
Okay, we're officially off of games I don't enjoy, and I get to speak positively about the rest. Jaws is next on my list, and it's one of the ones that I always have fun going through. Yes, it's simple, and yes, it's short, but so is a Hobbit, and you already know that they bow to no one.
Potatoes.
Seriously, there is no law that says a game has to be complex or long to be good, and Jaws embodies that. The gameplay is simple, but the controls are smooth, and the soundtrack is really good too. It's got enough of a challenge if you don't use the secret I highlight in the walkthrough, and it's got a fun final battle, even if it is brief. Ultimately, the devs delivered a fun, compact little game that leaves you satisfied when you finish it. No need for any extended credits or closing screen on this one, just the idea that you finished the job, and now you get to skedaddle. I'm slotting Jaws just ahead of The Adventures of Bayou Billy on this list, putting it at number 16, with Bayou Billy just behind it at 17. It's starting to take shape now. What do we have next? In at the very next spot on our list is Jackal. It's a simple yet well-executed game with a great soundtrack, smooth controls, and really enjoyable gameplay. It's tough to beat, but doesn't require a huge time commitment to attempt it, and the graphics are what we'd expect from Konami or a $2 steak. Very well done. It's got a bit of variety from level to level and some really cool boss fights, especially the final one. When that tank appears, it kicks my adrenaline into another gear and significantly ramps up the difficulty from any of the prior bosses. It's got a low-key ending sequence which actually pairs well with how this game plays. I don't need a lot of story, just bring my heart rate down a bit, that's all I ask. I'm putting this one at the very next spot on our list at number 15. It doesn't quite surpass Super C for me, but the next title on our list does. Coming in next from the most recent batch of 10 is Astyanax, a completely underrated game and a hidden gem on the console. It's rich in storyline and immerses the gamer in Remlia, the fantastical realm where this one takes place. It features a really strong soundtrack, great level design, and that firm but fair NES hard difficulty. The most likable feature to me was the weapons and damage upgrade system, which build throughout the game much like an RPG. But this game is really a beat-em-up platformer at heart, and those two styles combine to make quite the enjoyable game. The boss fights are very well done and challenging, and this game gives you one of the stronger ending sequences I've seen, a great cap to a very entertaining and deep story. Now this game surpasses Super C, but doesn't quite leap ahead of the next title on our list, so we'll slot it in as our current number 13. But which one landed ahead of it? The unnamed legendary hero and the realm of Argul land in the next spot on our list. Rygar is the ambitious game I'm talking about, which attempted an open-world RPG feel while mainly side-scrolling. It sprinkled in a little Metroidvania, and ultimately the combo worked pretty well. I particularly liked the clues littered throughout the game, and the complete lack of explanation why these bald, shirtless men were just sitting on columns apparently doing nothing but tricep dips all day.
Nope.
Seriously, these guys are unsettlingly ripped. The music in this game was pretty strong, and I ended up liking the variety of level designs in the different regions that you entered. The boss fights were okay, but I didn't think they were complex enough. Many of the bosses could be defeated just by spamming attacks or using the same simple pattern. But they do give you a nice, happy, and bright little ending screen and a little story for your trouble. It's not elite, but it's certainly not bad, so Rygar is landing at number 12 on the list today. 4 more games in this batch to go. Which one's next? Now we're getting into the group of games I would consider to be bangers, and Simon Belmont is back to claim a top 10 spot with Castlevania II: Simon's Quest. This was a bold move to foundationally transform how Castlevania was played, but this game pulls it off brilliantly. The non-linear journey through Transylvania is most enjoyable as you get your steps in while listening to one of the best tracks on the NES, Bloody Tears. This game has 3 different endings to shoot for, which are all strong and add to the replay value of the game, and as with any Metroidvania, searching for all of the items to claim a 100% run is a very satisfying challenge. But this one has a big black eye for me, the boss fights. These were virtually non-existent and way too easy. You really only have to defeat 2 bosses in the entire game, so there was never any build-up for all the work you did. Dracula is really simple and not that strong, so it just leaves a bad taste that such a good game would have such a weak ending note. So I mix all those factors in, I know that I like it better than the first, so that's going to push the original Castlevania down to number 10 and Mega Man 1 down to 11, with Simon's Quest landing comfortably at number 9. Our next title features the Dark Knight himself, Batman. This was not a game I even played until I was an adult, and boy did I miss out. Incredible soundtrack, buttery smooth controls, and the simplicity and elegance of the wall jump made this game just much deeper than most platformers. I loved the variety of secondary weapons to add to the strategic element, and the level design and graphics are both really outstanding. The boss fights feel special and high stakes, and the Joker is a great final boss in terms of difficulty and strength. The game gives you a rewarding ending cutscene sequence and credits that leave you feeling accomplished once you've completed it. Truly a game I see myself replaying over and over again. Now, I don't really have anything negative to say about it, but just basing it off of my enjoyment compared to the rest of the games on the list, I'm going to slot Batman in at number 8, just ahead of Simon's Quest. Landing a spot in my current top 5 is the best game, so far, in this franchise. I'm talking about Mega Man 3. This game is especially impressive considering how it was rushed out the door to meet consumer demand, and yet they still put together a complete and challenging game. The added slide maneuver improved the variety of controls, and the Doc Robot stages between Master Robots and Wily added that level of difficulty that was missing from number 2. The soundtrack is elite once again, and they added a good bit of story to this title as well. The boss fights and ending are once again excellent, and all of those incremental improvements put on top of the foundation of Mega Man 1 and 2, which are already solid games, and you have yourself a top-end product. Mega Man 3 lands as my new number 5 on the list, which surpasses Crystallis and Mega Man 2, pushing them down to 7 and 6 respectively. We just have one more game to rank. Let's put it on the list. The final title we're ranking today is the iconic sci-fi masterpiece, Metroid. It's incredible to consider that this game was among the NES's first releases and still holds up as well as it does. Wandering around searching for upgrades, hidden rooms, tunnels, and secrets all lend to that feeling of being isolated on an alien planet, truly alone. It's that backdrop and setting that makes this game so engrossing for me. And then add to that the non-linear and enormous map, and you have a game that can hold your attention for hours still to this day. The music is perfectly paired with the theme, and the boss fights with Kraid and Ridley are tense, even if they are on the easier side. The clincher is the memorable and heart-pounding ending sequence of destroying Mother Brain, a truly elite boss, followed by escaping before the planet's destruction. I mean, this game offers players everything. Multiple endings based on how quickly you clear it adds greatly to the replay value and puts it among the top games ever on the console. So where should it rank? This game is now my new official number 1 game in the ranks. As much as I enjoy Ninja Gaiden, Bionic Commando, and Contra, this game did so many things well to deserve a spot ahead of those titles. So folks, we have a new leader in the clubhouse.
Punch the leg! It's over! We have a new champion!
Alright, with 20 titles now ranked, let's see how they all stack up. What do you think? Am I off my rocker? Is this a fair assessment to this point? Let me know what you think in the comments, and be sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, so you can catch future episodes of this series when they drop. And you don't want to piss off Nicolas Cage. Never works out for anyone that way. And as a reminder, if you want to see any of the games that we discussed today, all of the links for the full walkthroughs are in the description below this video. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on the next episode of Every NES Game Ranked. Take care.